will try to drop in and take care of. See, I'll see if she's like ready. So the recap, because we all, oh yeah, real quick, sorry, pre-session notes, this will take very minimal time. Clarifying notes, I think I already said it to Daniel once, but escape checks, I found out, technically happen, broad spectrum, they happen as an action, unless it says specifically otherwise. Which is why last time when I was like grapple, and they were like, does that cost an action, or do you just get that for free at the end of the turn? Unless it says for free at the end of the turn, it costs an action on your turn to try to get out. So there's that. Also, 2-weapon fighting is fighting with with light melee weapons. So like dual wielding battle axes doesn't count, but dual wielding short swords counts.
And he's at the light thingy.
And it has to have a light tag on it, and it has to be a melee weapon. Unless you get the duelist feat. Or, yeah, the duelist feat, I think, allows you to do that. So, keep that in mind when you guys get your level up. Also, learning your characters. Don't forget, much like how everybody ought to know that the Paladin Smite, how that works, your characters have a type, right? Clerics have a have a channel divinity that is turning undead, destroying undead, or doing the other thing. Paladins have a similar detect evil, yada yada yada. The tropes that your characters should follow, just try to learn it. That way, you guys get that down pat. And then, if you don't know, obviously, hey, how does this ability work, dude? Nearly all of us know something that the others don't about this game. That being said, that was it. Do you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that? Nope. Sweet. Okay, so pious local healer Therai was making his rounds to the homestead. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm all jumbled up. Goals? Do you guys want to change any of your goals? Any of the ones that you guys like, any new goals that we should make note of right now, or what you got, Deus?
I want to change mine from leave on good terms with Bruno.
With Brenna?
Because now it doesn't look like he's leaving.
Oh. And you're changing that too?
To have a successfully unattacked night.
A successfully unattacked night?
Yeah, so like when we make camp and sleep for the night, we want to just have like a safe night.
How is that a goal that you can make happen?
Session.
Yeah, how is that a goal that you can like actualize?
Working with everyone.
To make it so you don't get a random encounter?
Yeah. My new session goal is to continue on the journey and leave this campsite. Haven't we been here for like days?
You've really only been here like overnight. It's just that a lot has happened at this one campsite. But it feels like days because it's been 3 sessions.
Use my new steed spell to help with the carriage.
There you go. Use your steed to pull the carriage. Cool, works for me.
I'm just changing my roll a nat 20 to fix the cart.
Hey, there you go. All right, that works for me. Therai, any goals from you?
My goals are fine being the same they are.
All righty then. Okay, so sorry, back into the recap. Therai was making his rounds around the to the homestead of Ashbrook to visit Grigori and Sigrun Mason on his regular rounds. Coming across a horrific scene, he was chased away from the home with the abominations in hot pursuit. Fleeing to the southwest to keep the monsters from going towards Koran, Brenna and Keksi met and realized that they were on opposite sides of the fresh war in the Fae. After a tense exchange, they both agreed to leave the war effort back in the homeland, forging a slightly more familiar relationship. While waiting to see what happened, Kaioken came to the realization that Xixis was not acting like himself. In fact, Absalon had taken over the shell of Xixis, promising to have a long conversation with Kaioken about the past with him. Zinch interrupted the party to proclaim that they had been surrounded by enemies. Almost immediately, they were beset upon by Raj and his Fomorian accomplice. Early on, Therai, followed by the monstrosities, encountered the raging battle between the party and the assassins. What followed was a knockdown, drag-out war between the assassin duos, the monsters, Therai, and the group. At the end, Therai and the group were left standing. While Therai wanted to simply heal the wounded, Absalon wanted answers. Pressing Therai as less of a brother in arms and more of a source of problem, the group could only stand by and watch as Absalon and Therai vied for control over the conversation. Absalon was simultaneously vying for control of Xixis' body, then began to tighten the grip of control over the situation with the new healer. So, we're going to pick up where we left off, which was Therai attempting to move past Absalon, and Absalon threatening him with harm. As Therai walked past, Absalon points his cannon and shoots, and there's a bright flash of light. Therai, you recognize that the blast passes an inch in front of your face. Do you continue to walk as you were previously? I see that now. I see the flashing lights. Flashing lights.
I'm not doing that, just so you know.
No, I believe you.
I would stop. Damn it. No, Therai would stop at that point and just turn his head towards Xixis.
So when you turn your head towards the robot, what do you... Oh, sorry, you were going to say?
What do you desire from hurting me?
If you say that you follow Balthazar, does that mean you would like to follow him to the grave? So Kaioken and Deus, you guys were going over to take a look at the remains of Zinch, and you had heard the thunder wave happen and came back to check out what was going on, watching, I believe it was through the cart, right?
Mm-hmm. Kind of peeking around, yeah.
And you would have heard Therai mention the name Balthazar, which Kaioken would ring in your mind as the main
Draethos leader.
Yeah,
general.
he was the king of the dragon lands to the south. Mm-hmm. In your first earliest adventure. And Therai, obviously, the fact that Xixis Absalon brings up Balthazar, I assume, kind of gives you pause.
Yeah, especially since Therai mentioned it in passing of him trying to find his friends.
Right.
I don't think Therai mentioned specifically that he's following Balthazar.
He said, "Is your name Balthazar? Because then I don't follow you," is what he said, exactly.
Okay. But even then, it's more of a name that he just threw out thinking, you don't know this name. I barely recognize the name. It's been so long.
Right.
So for the other to know the name and then make mention of death, Therai is now a bit spooked as he takes a step back.
You have knowledge of days far gone beyond your time or mine. I do not follow that man, that being, in mental footsteps, only to seek where he has gone and make him repent for things he has made me do.
Well, isn't this interesting? Now I have something you want. I have the last known location of Balthazar. Kaioken, is there anything that you wanted to do after hearing this, or are you just like waiting to see what they talk about?
No, I'm just taking it all in. I'm trying to listen.
Absalon Xixis would give me one sec. I just want to make sure that he has this spell present. He would bring a hand up, and in it you would see there's like inside of his palm there's like this little tiny, it almost looks like a quartz crystal. Yes, thank God. So as he produces prestidigitation, he prestidigitates this little tiny head, which is the head of what both of you guys know would be Balthazar, the former king of the Dragonlands. And he would go, "This is Balthazar, yeah?"
What of it?
Well, it's very interesting, you see, because I know for a fact that he is dead. He died, a little over a century ago. As he rotates it, you see the head rotate towards the back, and he goes, "If you notice, this right here," and he points, and what you would see this like diamond-shaped ruby that's like set into gold, and you see these little like 4 feet. He goes, "You see this? This is what you would call a control node. I made these personally. Would you like to know more?"
I will listen to you for now.
Perfect. Now that we have an exchange, I would like information first. For instance, why were those things chasing you, and why did you lead them this way?
I outran them, thinking that maybe I could get far enough away to warn others. You just happened to be in the way of my path when they followed your scent instead of mine. I did not lead them as much as they followed. There is a big difference between the two ways.
Yes. You see, this is what I was talking about, Deucey. You see, a simple miscommunication is what ensued all of this violence. Now, we were just fighting some other people who came here to, well, they completed their job. And he points back to the divot where the previous great club was, that shows like 2 bugbear arms out of either side and 2 bugbear legs out of either side, as the the shallow grave of Zinch. So they completed their goals. Unfortunately, they did not, they underestimated us. Which is why we were a little antsy when you came through. And I apologize for jumping to conclusions about having my voice box ripped out. You see, it has been a very long road. And I finally get to cut loose. And this is what I am met with. Can you understand my plight?
I do. But you need to understand as well. Your road is not done yet. There are many hours left until we make it to Quran. If there at all. And before that, we need to prepare the bodies for travel. I will not let them rest here.
You want to bring the bodies back? He kind of looks back over his shoulder. He's off of the ground, but he looks back as if he can see them. He goes, "It's going to be quite a stinky ride, but that is
Grigori and
understandable."
Sigrid don't need to be retrieved now. We can let the guards know of their presence, and I can travel back out with them when we get to Quran.
What do you got there,
But
Deucey? Sorry,
Since this
sorry.
conversation is longer than I thought, I wanted to do something while you guys were talking.
Okay, yeah, I'll come right back to you with what you're doing during this. Sorry, please, go ahead.
Grigori and Sigrid's body don't need to be moved right now. The guard and I can come out later and take care of that. But I'd rather have more than us escorting them in case they come back alive. I've seen unnatural things happen to the dead as of late. But I will not let my friend Zinch die in a hole unceremoniously. That is one body I will carry back, whether on Luna or on my own shoulders.
Right, I see. Well, and then Deus, what did you want to do while this was all happening?
So last time we were with us, like me and Kaioken are just kind of staring at where the cop was.
Yeah.
But with Bruno, I was gonna ask Bruno, hey Bruno, you wanna help me move these wannabe Cyclopses before they stink?
Oh, Brenna?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you said Bruno. I was like, dog, he hasn't been here for a minute, but all right, I see what you're saying. You want him to start like moving the bodies with you?
Yeah, just to this, like, kind of where you have them on the map.
Gotcha.
Just kind of get them the fuck out of here.
Right. Okay. Kaioken, are you doing anything?
No, I'm just peeking through, eavesdropping. I'm taking it all in with the
right.
conversation.
So he's like pretending to do something else.
he's just, what? Are they talking about that dude that we fucking killed? Because Kaioken, you would remember that final combat from campaign 1 where it was in the tunnel just before you guys fought Tiamat. He was full Death Knight mode, dropping bombs, and then Emiko used her, what is it, a ring or a wand to fireball? And then it was like all 3 charges at once and just lit him up.
All 9.
That whole all 9. So Therai and Absalon, he goes, it's the thing about these control nodes is that I made them, I patented them, and then I controlled the entirety of the Dragonborn Empire, including the kill command, which killed 98% of them when I saw that they were getting out of control. And you can't read expression on
A robot?
on the robot's face, right? But you, especially with your passive with your passive insight, the way and the cadence that he says this is so mechanical that to him this is just business. What he says this with no hint of regret in his voice. And goes, that was how the war ended from the before times, which I can only assume was after your time? But, you see, I had to fix the equation, and I know for a fact that Balthazar, regrettably, he destroyed the node on the back of his neck before I had the chance to end his tyranny. But he disappeared into a hole in a cave. Literally, the whole inside of the cave disappeared.
At that point, Kaioken would come around and I know what happened to Balthazar. We killed him, my old party, and I cooked him up. About 9 fireballs took him out, but it was a long fight before then.
So you're saying that you watched him die?
I believe so, yeah. I tried to take his helix sword, and then it broke over an exchange with another party member who thought they deserved it more, and then we got into a scuffle. Then we went and killed a big dragon with 5 heads.
Does any of this ring a bell at the Rise head or no?
Make me a wisdom saving throw. Because you're accessing a part of your memory which would have been totally fucking easy to for you to figure out, you piece of shit.
No
yeah.
problem.
Oh man, I completely forgot about that stuff.
Sorry, it's what I meant to say was fuck me. No, so you would have this vague, almost like dreamlike memory of literally your spirit being drugged from the afterlife to like as a incorporeal entity being drugged back from your rest, which was torment where you were coming from, and being under control of Balthazar. The one instance where you were slightly able to fight it was you had made a plea with Balthazar that it wasn't too late to change his ways before he commanded you to attack a party at the gates of his keep, which you did. You and the rest of them, you did battle with this group. With that one, I'll say you might even you would recognize that you fought a Goliath barbarian. I don't know that you would know it was Kaioken exactly.
His skin has changed since then, right? Like,
yeah, he used to be covered in veiny tattoos.
Yeah.
But you
And
would,
I was decked out in golden scale,
Yeah.
dragon mail.
yeah. So you probably wouldn't know that it
Wouldn't
was
recognize
Kaioken.
him,
But you would remember some of these party members for sure. And then when you got wiped out, it's like a fade to black moment, and then what the rest of your
Back here.
yeah. Yeah, that's what you would remember from what Kaioken was saying. And so Absalom looks and he goes, the one thing that I do regret from that time, since we're all talking about the old days now, is that I fixed the equation of the weave affliction. Which, if you want to continue to dick measure about the souls that you have taken, technically speaking, I am the reason why magic has failed everywhere. So, if you really feel sorry and you feel guilt for ravaging your past lives, consider the following. Everywhere where you see there is a lack of magic is directly related to my own scientific works with the Dragonlands.
How do you spell his name?
Absalom? Absolon. He goes, so to put it plainly, for my friend here, Kaioken, and for Ducey and Brenna in the back, and even Keksi, and you look back, and Keksi is... you healed her, right? She has like the anime whiteout eyes, and she's just holding a battle axe forward and swaying as she just falls unconscious because she got wrecked. She went down and then brought back up, and then went down and then brought back up. She's fucked right now.
Adrenaline's wearing off.
Oh
She's getting sick.
And so she just like almost as if like the timing is too perfect. You look back and she's just he's like, so for everybody who understands, when you say that you have caused torment, please understand that my soul, while yes, it is likely to be eternal, has literally been the reason for why we live in the type of world that we live in. Give me a DC, or sorry, give me an insight check. Whoever wants to, whether it's Kaioken or Therai or...
Ooh.
Instead of that, while he continued on that sentence, can I go and pick up Keksi and take her back to the tent and like put her in the bed like under not rain?
Oh, sure.
Or the cart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Therai, you would get this. Deus, we'll say you're just too busy with Brenna. You could hear this, but you're not really paying attention to it to really understand the complexities of the voice and inflection.
That is, I feel like he'd be like, yeah, sure, right.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, you know.
Yeah, and I'm the Pope.
Yeah, right. You would instantly understand the depth of pain that is behind his voice when he says that. Being a magical entity himself, and being like, you've heard him say, I'm the greatest wizard that ever, you know what I mean? This whole entire fight, he's been like inflating himself. The one thing that he said is that he has been protecting this party, and to you it rings, yeah, of course he would want to be the protector of this party. You can hear the guilt in his voice when he talks about literally destroying the world. The mass genocide he cares less about. It's less about the people and more about like robbing the world of this magic. You catch all of that in your infinite wisdom, because Jesus Christ, you are the wise man. But he looks and he goes, so it would seem that we are not so different, you and I. So for now, why don't we all try to figure out how to get out of this hellhole and into, what is the name of that city to the east?
Korean.
Yes, that one. The one with the big walls that I've heard so much about. You know, Zinch would not shut up about it. But, you know, oh, I want to be a city god. I want to be a city god.
His aspirations held... I feel like they held much deeper than just a god. But I did not speak with him often. Either way, it sounds like you are tiring of this conversation as well. We should get moving. Rain brings with it pain.
Right.
And with that, Therai is going to move over to Zinch and perform burial rites over him, over what's left of him.
Yeah.
And start like gathering it up. If he has to sacrifice a cloak or like a bedding roll, then he's going to, just so he has something.
Likely it'll be a bedroll.
Yeah.
Because
just to put the
you've got two halves.
Remains.
You've got two halves lengthwise. And it's not
like
exactly a clean cut.
Got hit, and then it's just his extremity is.
Well, yeah, because he hit him lengthwise with the club, and he basically just like, and then while he was down, he split him, right? So it's just like it's a paste in there, but you've got the, but let's start with Kaioken. What are you doing when as this conversation ends, you see Therai leave. And you're walking over to, you pick up Keksi. She's super light. It's super fucking easy. And you see Absalom Xixis just sort of standing there.
As I pass by with her, I'm like, let's go talk privately.
Yes, and I suppose I should.
I'll go set her down, and then I'm assuming Therai, they finish their conversation by the time I get back. And then I come back to Absalom Xixis. You mentioned a weaver affliction. Explain that to me.
Well, you see, the magic, you know, not so much natural magic, but arcane magic, right? People who are studied, they... how do I put this? Okay, easy. Visual learning. Prestidigitation. You see he makes a, like a shirt, right? It's like a, it would be like a linen cloth. So you could see all of the crosshairs. He goes, you see this, as he's like doing this. He goes, this is what you would call a fabric, yes? To make the fabric, you have to weave the strands, yes? Now, I push my finger through, and it cannot penetrate, but it can move. So, the way that magic works is if you pluck this a certain way, at a certain frequency, you can get... And he pops it, and you see, like, out of the bottom of this, like, floating plane of cloth, you see a little lightning bolt out of the bottom. It almost looks like he, like, slingshot, like, pulls it back, and then lets it go, and it... Like you see, this is why we call it the weave. If I manipulate the weave, I can create magical effects. Now, and he takes the end piece of this floating, you know, illusion, and it's a little strand, and he pulls it, and he goes, if I were to be able to do this, and you see it unravel, and he goes, no magic. I was able, over nearly a century of my life, to use math to be able to do that.
Is your intention to destroy magic?
Actually, my intention was to get rich. And I did. But I did not realize the cost to getting rich.
You got rich helping the Dreathos, correct?
Yes, they wanted to destroy the elves. Now, me personally, I do not care which civilization it is that falls, because they are born and they die, and they are born and they die. Now, when they said, oh look, the greatest cities, they are made entirely of magic. We want to end the magic, like a dispel magic spell, but like on a city-wide level. And I said, oh, you know, it'd be really easy. And they were like, oh, okay, show us. Like, we know, but like, could you show us? And then I got paid, and then they pulled the strand, and next thing you know, it's in the water, and everything is dying all around us.
So what do you know what year this happened? Because do you know that the Dreathos had summoned a goddess that they worshipped? One that would have laid ruin to the entire plane.
I had heard about that after the fact. And which is
was summoned and incarnate.
The dragon goddess.
Yes. And me and my party, the Breakers of the Malbak Yeti, we defeated her with means of vestiges of what were they called? They were
Dragon slaying.
Yeah, there was like dragon slaying equipment, dragon slaying vestiges, and we were able to counteract her abilities to an extent. But if we would have failed, Tiamat would be roaming now.
Oh yeah, she most likely would have created a hell on earth, and this would have been her domain. Yeah, that's pretty much all gods want to do, that, to one extent or another. Yeah.
So they came to you after they failed in that.
It would have been considered during that was happening. I did not know that they were trying to summon Tiamat, the mother of all chromatics. It was instead that, Shaisa, what is his name? The name of the man is I'm drawing a blank on, but I guess I will have to remember that at some point. Where is my notes? What?
Sonax?
So
no.
Greymane?
Nope. It was a dragonborn that you guys never met because you didn't finish the one shot in which you would have had to fight him. Because you did not get the chance to.
We got hung up on the water elemental.
That is very correct. So as to say, I am going to go past this, but I'm looking actively at my notes now, trying to find it while I talk about this. So, he tells you the name of this dragonborn, and you're like, oh, never met him. And then, as he's describing, what was happening, basically what he tells you is that, essentially, you guys fought Tiamat, right? Because news traveled slower than, instantly, at the same time, he was in communication with the person who ran the city of Verona, is what I called it at that time. And that was the city where you guys ended up having to go, because they were like, this guy's gonna destroy the world. That was literally like your guys' one shot, was this guy's gonna go destroy the world, go stop him, we'll drop you at the outskirts of the city, fight your way or whatever. And so when you guys were making your way in, he was finalizing all of his potions and his magic, and he was in communique with Absalon back at the Glasslands, who was like, oh, that's very easy, pay me now and I will tell you how to do it, as like a last fuck you to the elves. Well, I don't know why, it must have been my math that was wrong, because he bound it to water instead of to elves. You can bind almost any magic to any one thing that you want. It's actually rather easy. For instance, Xixis infusions. When he creates the magic for a weapon, he places the infusion on that item. And that, no matter where it is, it keeps that infusion until he wants to take it back. So, then he... Oh, this is gonna piss me off so bad if I can't find this fucker's name. So when he used it to destroy the elves, I assumed that he was going to just destroy the elves. I did not realize he would put it to water. His name was Grishke. Grishke. Dreathos. Holy shit. Because you guys fought Ezog, he was the one who took the cubic gate. You guys fought Unarath, which was the one who unlocked the dragonborn potential in Emiko. That was the female that was going to help you guys. And Grishke was the last one that you never met.
I am the last one.
Yeah, I am the last dragon. He goes, he was like, so, you know, basically that's what happened. But,
So, is there a way to undo what you have done?
yes, of course. Anything that is undone can be redone. It's as simple as Control Z. Real quick, I'll cut away from you real quick.
Yeah.
Deus, you and Brenna are loading up, are piling the bodies.
Any stuff fall out of these big old bodies?
So, let's see here. Do you want to make the investigation check, or do you want Brenna to make the investigation check?
Rather someone with intelligence do it. Brenda's probably smarter than me.
You think Brenna is smarter than you?
Well, I have a -3. And
Right.
So I feel like Brenda's smarter than me.
Okay.
Because that was one of my first rolls when I was tricked to rolling for my shit.
Okay,
So I
you
know-
weren't tricked
I
at
thought I
all.
was the
There's
stupid one.
there's a big difference between
I
being
have
tricked
a 5.
and
I have a 5 for
and
intelligence.
being peer pressured. All right. So go ahead and roll me a d20. Add 3. Because yes, he is actually quite smarter than you.
20.
Let's see, 20, 23. Okay, so
Wow. I think he's frozen, or he's just really upset.
who, me? Am I? Oh no!
No,
am
he's
I?
just deadpanning.
Oh.
Really?
Like staring.
Hey, zooming on
Yeah, he's just. Really?
These fucking
Really?
guys.
Y'all gonna roll good tonight, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I'm just
All
gonna
right,
sit here
audience.
and stare.
Fuck. All right, I'll be right back. As soon as am I back?
That is great. That's
Am I?
absolutely
You're
great.
20.
Yep. I'll be back as soon as my Discord reloads. It's been too much of a fucking day. Okay. So, don't like that. Fuck. Okay. And now we're back because I had to. You see those? Yeah. Anyways. So, Deus, you had
I got a
him
20.
roll. You had a 20 total, right?
20 total.
Right. Okay. So, not very far from good old Oni Fomorian fucking Raj, you would find his Kanabo, which is basically a great club.
So do you want me to add a custom Kanabo or just add?
Just
Club?
add a great club. If you can. I don't even know if you can. Certainly hope so. But
Yeah, Great Club.
so add 2 of those. The other one is from the Fomorian. Zinch. Boy. Zinch had a lot of stuff on him, but also you would remember, just so you know.
Fresh.
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
No. Just so you know, you would also remember that he also had a book bag that he left by the fire because he didn't like strap on his fanny pack when he went into battle, but he did, however, have on him holy shit. Okay, who's ready to write this down?
I am.
He has 2 daggers, a horn, the instrument, a magnifying glass, manacles, a rapier, short bow, studded leather, thieves' tools, and his...
What was after horn?
Oh, magnifying glass. Then manacles. Then a rapier. Then a short bow. Stud leather. And thieves' tools. His backpack has a lot of stuff in it. So, I don't know if you guys want me to, like, just, like, screen it and send you the contents of his bag.
Maybe easier. That was a lot of
We could
writing.
probably do that after session too.
Yeah, his character can stay up until after session. But you would find all of that shit on his body. And then
So the last is just kind of backpack.
yeah, his backpack would be back at camp. It wouldn't even be on his body. But if
What
you're
was his name?
Zinch?
I'm just adding custom item backpack of Cinch.
Oh, okay. That way you can recall.
Yeah.
All right. Once I send you a screenshot, just know that I will likely delete his character sheet. Once I tell, I'll send you everything that he had, and then yeah, on his person, it would be a damaged 4 talons amulet. So that would be in his like coat pocket, because he was wearing like city finery. Inside of his coat pocket, it would be essentially, Deus, you might... No, you probably wouldn't, because you probably haven't even seen the fucking goblet yet. Never mind. It looks like an eagle foot with 4 talons. Yeah, it's pretty on the nose, which is pretty much what Saul was all about. But that would be like tucked in, almost in like a like a detective badge, like the flip open, like yeah, but it would be just the 4 talons like deal. The rest of them don't have anything on them. They have some like shredded clothing, Sigrun and Grigori, but other than that, there's nothing salvageable. But Brenna looks at you and he's like, Kaioken. No, sorry, Deus. You're not Kaioken. I still haven't met him formally yet. He's still just a grey floppy man. But Deus, you saved my life.
He's just wiping off the sweat from moving the bodies.
That's
what friends do. Brenna, you saved mine as well.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you did for me there. I was racked with pain. By the way, I am not saying thank you, but I am telling you that I physically can't say how much I appreciate it because I'm not going to be in your debt. He goes, but I was racked with pain as my limbs and my skin were developing abnormalities. I would have been turned into one of those Fomorians. And you saved me. I appreciate you.
He kind of looks at his hands when he casts the,
yeah. Lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration.
The restoration spell. Looks at his hands and cast it. He's thinking like, I cast it. Like that was my power. He's not saying that out loud, but that's
he's looking at that, yeah. Is there anything...
he just kind of smiles at Brenna, and he puts his hand out like this.
Save it. He's frozen again.
No fucking way am I not. What? Am I really?
He's touched.
No way. Bullshit. What?
For me, he's looking down. I don't know what it looks like for you guys.
Yeah, he's looking down.
Okay.
Fuck.
What's going on with the shit?
Fuck Comcast.
I'm curious if it's his.
He was saying that how he wasn't thanking me, but
Yes.
he'd be dead without me. He would have turned into one of those things.
Yes.
And I kind of had Deus looked at his hands
and said that this power came from me. This was my magic. Yeah.
Kind of like me, like I don't need her, kind of thing.
Right.
Like it was in me the whole time.
Yeah.
And I pulled out a sword from my chest that was called self-respect.
Jesus Christ.
No. Anyone get that reference?
No.
No.
The Michael Cena versus the girlfriends or the boyfriends.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
Right. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
Gotcha.
Fuck.
And he pulled out a sword of self-respect. Anyway, at the last, so last thing was he put his hand up towards Brenna.
And Brenna puts a finger out and just like tries to. I'm gonna have him make a strength saving throw, to see if he can like. Actually, no, it'd be dexterity, wouldn't it? It'd be a dexterity saving throw to try to like not like
dexterous enough to not.
Yeah. Let's see here. That is not the right dex for this person here. 1 sec. Sorry. 1 segundo. Please, I'm so sorry. Oh, never mind. Your dex is pretty shit, but it's comparable. Make me a dex saving throw for Brenna using your stuff.
Oh shit, that was one of my best dex saving throws yet.
There you go. Yep. So he does it. You guys do a little fist finger bump. And then we'll cut back to actually, let's cut back to Therai real quick. You're performing last rites on some of these people, right?
Yes, sir.
As they're finishing up, as Brenna and Deus are finishing up not piling the bodies, but like putting them in a group, it would be the best time for you to come over to start to do that. What does your last ceremony or your last rites look like? Are you doing it for everybody, or are you just doing it for...
I was going to write this down after work. I was practicing on the way home, and I completely... Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it on my phone.
All right.
Because
okay.
I
Kalima.
Well, you find it.
Skip me for a moment.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to Kaioken and Absalon Xixis. So you were just explained to like why it's the weave and the weave affliction, and the last thing that you asked was, can it be undone? Mm-hmm. And Absalon was like, well, yeah, of course it can be undone. Anything can be undone. Just versus how much work do you want? I mean,
where do we start? Because that's what I want. I remember the world before there was no magic, and look at what has happened. People are starving. People are sick. People are hurt.
We have nearly died ever since we took that job from Hassenvale.
Yeah. Wait, what? What's a hearth and veil?
Oh, the town.
What town?
You know, the one that was destroyed, and Kana when
who's...
Oh, okay. So yes. Okay, so my fears were confirmed. I don't know why does Xixis not just tell you people, hey everyone, you guys are missing huge pieces of your memory? Like, I don't understand. So, while I have control of this, let me just give you the 411, as the kids say. I'll give you the lowdown. So, you remember where you were like 2 months ago? What about 3 months ago?
Would I? Was
like
that like traveling to
3 months ago would have been when you ran into Tribute on the bridge, making your way east, but as you're trying to recall, you don't remember where.
Yeah.
You were just going east, because you went west and you went to the tree, the world tree, and you were like, wood elves, and they were like, we don't live here, and then you left.
Right.
And so you went east, and you met up with Tribute. You were like, hey man, I'm looking for some work. And then you continued.
Yeah.
And and then it gets blank,
Right.
and then you're with your group. You're traveling south to the ritual chamber.
Mhm.
That whole thing happens, and then it's blank. But it's so jarring. It's so, like, you haven't had time to stop and think about it, right? Because there's been so much crazy shit on the road. But as you're stopping to think about it, it literally, your memory feels like it hits a wall. As you're like, we were traveling back to... And then...
I thought you froze there for a second.
Yeah, no, just... It is my router.
Is it similar to the same sort of feeling from being encased in stone and then waking up like after the coma and being like, okay, what the fuck? Like everything changed in a second. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Like, what?
You, when you were petrified, you felt like you were sleeping as you woke back up. You felt like it was a super long sleep, and that was because you had actually died, right? And you, like, the entropy process was stopped.
Right.
With this, you've retained the bodily functions, like when you and the rest of the group were standing in the road, and they were like, well, that was weird, let's go east, right? This is weird. You all had the feeling of, like, residual adrenaline.
Okay.
Your fight or flight responses were still going. So you guys were, oh, that's fucking weird. Why am I so jumpy? Right? When you were going east, it just stopped. And then you felt the residual, like, determination from when you guys were in the forest traveling south, and Deus and Xixis and the whole, like, that night camp, making your way to the ritual chamber, finding those Black Veil members, coming back. You guys hit the tree line, and then your memory just stops. And then you come to with this residual adrenaline rush. But you guys are like, we have to fucking figure this out later. We have to go east because someone's stuff is here.
Okay.
So he's probing you of, like, basically like a tickle test. Like, where does it tickle? Where can you have feeling,
and
right?
He would definitely see me working through, like,
That's the
okay,
hamster.
so we were here. I remember this.
Yeah.
And I talked to Tribute, and then I went to the place, and then I was in then I remember meeting you guys, being in the cave, traveling.
And do you remember traveling with a tiefling?
No.
Correct. You don't remember Kana. But you have a backpack with some items that say belongs to Kana, like on the French-made outfits that was in there. It says Kana on the tag.
I thought that was
kind of weird. Yeah.
Kind of weird, yeah, in general, but
Deus, could you come here, please? You would hear this calling from across. By the way, y'all are still just standing in the rain, like pouring down rain.
Yeah.
It's still, but it's starting to ease up a bit. But Deus, you would hear Absalon call to you.
Kind of walks over from Brenna to Absalom.
Yeah, he goes, okay. Let me see if I can do this. I don't think I can, but I can give it the old, what they call it, college try. He is going to ritual cast. What? Oh, I forgot that. Yes, Xixis. Yes.
As he holds up, he like kind of puts his hand on his chainmail and like puts his hand underneath it and pokes his fingers through. You think you could still help me out with trying to repair this? It's the only armor I have.
Yes, of course. I will do that for you probably tonight, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But,
at least until I can find some more armor.
do you have...
I go up to him and I take out my component pouch of 2 lodestones and kind of put them to the area where it like messed up, and I knock them together, and I Tibetan throat yodel, and I cast mending. And
can anyone remember they had plate armor?
I know that we have plate armor, but I don't have it. I put it in Xixis' bag.
Yep.
But
I remember.
mending is mended.
Thanks, Kaioken.
So, one sec. I need to know if anybody has paper and a pencil or a pen.
I've got some skin and a knife.
So let's see.
I
Got a lot of skin, actually. He's like pulling out this like big flappy, wet, starting to stink.
So that is disturbing.
Look at the hairs. Oh, they're so thick.
God, this is so gross. Oh, I know. And you see him pull out a spell book. On the spell book, on the front cover of the spell book, it has a circle with an eye in the middle and then 7 points coming off of it. He goes, this was belonged to Kana. He opens it up and it says in the inside it says head east to find the next member. He goes, look, it even has a cryptic message, just like Kana. And then he flips it over more. He takes one of the pages of this book, like the blank pages in the back. He just fucking yeah, puts it back into his bag. Okay, I need a pen. I need a pen. Do I have a pen? Oh, that's right. And he's going to use his right tool for the job to turn his hand into a forgery kit that he can use. So he kind of locks it open, pulls out a quill, and he goes, all right, now. And you guys are watching him do this. He's explaining, what I'm doing here is I am going to create a scroll from the magics that I have available to me left. And this is going to detect magic, you see. So here we go.
You don't need to do that. I can do that.
Oh, thank God. Okay, because I am really running low on spells. So, Kaioken, could you please detect magic on Deus? Deus, stand right there. Don't move.
Yeah, he would. Kaioken would kind of like do like a symbol with his hand, and then like in that symbol there would be a small sigil as he's like casting this for 10 minutes as a ritual cast. And then wherever he like looks, it's gonna like kind of detect magic, or does it like an area effect, like glow things?
So
in my backpack, my cloak would glow.
So as you cast this, as you're casting this, we'll say that the effect is immediate while you're doing your 10-minute cast. Because it's concentration for up to 10 minutes, right. It kind of makes sense that the 10-minute casting of the ritual is like you doing it, and then as soon as you stop, you stop. Okay. And Xixis, on the other hand, you'll see him just like click a button, just meat, and he's like, this is fun, and you see, and what you guys would see out of both Kaioken and Xixis is you would see a spotlight effect up to 60 feet away, very similarly to when the black veiled guys had used it against you. No. The detect when you guys were fighting those 6 guys in the forest, and one of them went and immediately clocked Kaioken and Deus as allies and Connor as the enemy. They used, now that you know, because it would be relatively fresh in your memory, they used detect magic to see your guys' symbols and your stuff. So as you look, sorry, this is really there's a lot of dumping of lore going on right now.
Good, I like it.
So as you look, Absalon goes, this is why you should always try to keep a wizard with your party. But first and foremost, look at Deus's head. Deus, you look at Kaioken's head. Oh wait, you don't have this on. I will have to help you. So, he goes, Kaioken, look at Deus's head. As you look at his head, you would see this sort of, what fucking, god damn it.
Like a rosary, or?
No, it's an aura.
Oh, okay.
You would see this faint, I believe it's a pink aura. I'll have to get back to you on what color the enchantment spell is, or the enchantment school is. I think it's pink, or maybe that might be abjuration. But you would see this aura coming off of his head, and he goes, "You see this around his head?
Mm-hmm.
This lets you know that there is an enchantment spell that has been cast on him. It is on you too. It is on everybody except for Xixis. because I am a wizard, and I know how to protect myself from such things. Well, I know how to protect Xixis. He has to die. But that's a whole different thing. So, and then you would see from like Deus's like pack, you would see this dark shadow emanating. It almost looks like the stinky waves on anime emanating from his backpack. He goes, I don't know what that is, but I don't really want to know. It's that looks like it's evil. And he would, you know,
Then he turns around, kind of reaches in his pack and pulls out the cloak.
And you would see like it actually looks like there's a vignette coming off of this thing. Like light just sucks into this shimmery starlight sort of cloak. He's like, that is incredibly powerful magic.
I know what it is.
You know what this is? What is this?
He throws on the ground a mistake.
Right. That is, well, I suppose it's just as good to let some random person pick it up. Who's the next traveler?
Oh, no. I've learned a lesson in my past. You don't want someone that you don't want to have something that could alter them. If you want, I can hold on to it for you. Just tell me what to not do with it.
No, it's my cross to bear. And he picks it back up.
You just gotta carry this thing on you? If you
I
want,
don't know if I should be afraid of it or not. Can you tell me if this has some type of mind controlling or something that would hurt me?
I could
not know.
I could totally identify it tonight as we go.
He's gonna hand the book over to Xixis.
The cloak?
Yeah.
Alright, you hand the cloak over to Xixis. And he goes, well, that was very easy. So, you see the enchantment aura around his head. This lets you know that someone has tinkered with the old brain case. It's on everybody. It's on Keksi, it's on you, it's on... And you look over at Therai, it's even on Therai. Sexy? Which is really weird. We did not know him before today. Hey, Therai, let me ask you a question. Let's cut over to you real quick. Therai, do you have your final?
Yeah, I have it.
All right. What do you?
As Therai is more or less like holding up like a symbol. It's not the original symbol of the crescent moon. It's like one that he got crudely made in a rush order that he's just had for a while. As he holds up his holy symbol and he says, Lady Saloon and Mother Moon, take these who have seen your light every night and guide them to a better tomorrow. So young they have died, but now they return back to your light and grace. Embrace them and guide them forevermore.
And you're saying this in common?
Yeah, in common. Yeah, just common.
Deus, you would hear this.
That's the wrong moon, guys. He doesn't have a problem with it.
Not that he has a problem. Would that make him take pause or take notice of it, or would he just try to ignore it?
He would listen. He would be intrigued by it, but it doesn't have to sway over him like it would like a couple days ago.
Right.
Right now he's kind of high on the fact that of this.
My powers are working. I'm doing it. Yay. All right.
Like maybe he's thinking, I used to be like that.
he's just being the XP to level 3 Giga Chad.
What that fool doesn't understand is
to the Giga Chad.
Not Saloon.
All right, cool beans. So Absalon would then call Therai over as you're finishing up your last rites to them.
Yeah. Therai would make his way over.
Like, would he go over, put his arm around him and be like, you know, Saloon doesn't care about you, right? Oh, fuck.
Dude, I met her. She's a total cunt.
Jesus
Saloon.
But so
super loose and dry, terrible.
So I assume you come over, when when he calls. So
What is it that you seek?
if you all would look, Therai, do you remember a town called Harsonvale to the west of here? You would not.
No, that does not ring a bell.
You see?
If there's something messing with my head, can it be stopped?
Well, yes, of course. Anything that is started can be stopped, of course.
You said you're the greatest wizard. That means you can take this off, right?
Yes, in my previous party I could. At my lab I can. I can do anything in my lab.
Is lab your temple?
Oh. You poor thing, you. Yes, you could say that. It is where I conduct my research. It is where things like maths and experimentation, where those reign true. Not so much like, hey, please, mommy goddess, could I please get some powers from you? Instead, I take the magic by the balls and I squeeze until it does what I want.
Like lich?
Well, you see, like the Xixis head kind of. Am I a lich? I don't think I'm undead. I think I'm somewhere in between, because you see,
Liches have phylacteries, right, that tie them to this world.
Yes, they do.
Wait.
Did you say that?
Are you saying?
This ties you to this world?
Are you saying
Here's
we
a
should
question.
break the body?
Here's a
I
question.
don't think he
All
likes that.
phylacteries? He starts getting deeper into it. Is this body tying me to this world?
I want to know. Part of me wants to make you do a check to see if you know how a lich works.
Oh,
But
Here's the thing: liches don't
it's just an
exist
evil
anymore.
thing, and I'm a paladin, so I thought I probably know.
I mean,
But
yeah,
it's fair.
no. That would track. Yeah, you would know. Sure. I mean, because your order would probably have taken down one or two fledgling obekirs back in their day. And he goes, well, that is incredibly interesting, because my entire civilization would then technically be consistent of liches, as we all have soul gems that we keep our spirits in.
Shudders.
The glasslands to the south, back when the Ulochi were actually alive.
The Elochi?
The Elochi, OOLO-ICI. Let me go back to that fucking document here.
Is it the plants?
OOLI. Oh, the Olesians. That's sorry. Elochi was the place that it was called before it was the Glasslands.
What? We do not have much time here, but what made it the Glasslands? Or do you not know?
Seriously? You do not know about Glasssteel?
My travels have been mostly focused around the libraries of the Dragonlands and here at Koran.
Oh, and you never walked to the north. Well, allow me to regale you with tales of my place. So, I'll give you the cliff notes for this. The Glasslands, he describes, Deus would be kind of vaguely familiar with these places, as they're pretty close to your home base. It's the colloquialism for your, like for the desert that is to the east of where your home base is. The sands there.
Great.
Yeah, there's no player secrets. You guys are adults. You can roleplay. So the sands there are actually made out of shattered fragments of glass steel. Glass steel is glass that is harder than steel, hence the name. The magic that was used in the forges of the Glasslands by the Elosians created this insanely strong, incredibly sharp, like obsidian style that they basically made their whole identity. In fact, if you're looking at Xixis, you'll see certain smaller parts are actually made of this stuff along his frame. And he looks and he like shows and he's like, You see the arm blade, and he kind of swings it out, and this arm blade that Xixis never uses is actually made out of glass steel. So it's semi-see-through, it's got like a green tint to it, it looks like elven, or it looks like glass from like Skyrim, basically, it looks like glass weaponry from Skyrim. He goes, it is lighter than steel, it is sharper than steel, and the more that I get it damaged, the sharper it becomes. Therai, this is why we call it the Glasslands, because this is where the greatest mineral of the world was born. And the only place that you can get it is in my home. And he kind of puts it back. And then he just shows you like a stupid desert, and then like the jigglings, like the sparklings of like glass shards and whatnot, and he explains the Glasslands are deserts with dude, that is your light actually flashing in your room?
No, dude, it is literally just the camera.
Your camera is your camera set to 50 megahertz?
I don't think so.
Refresh rate, because if that's the case, it might be, it might not be. I have no idea, but yeah, that's he just tells you that little snippet about his homelands, but he goes, it's very interesting because that would mean that everybody who lives there was technically a lich, as we didn't kill ourselves, but we trapped our own souls inside of these gems and put them inside of these robots. So that's a very good question. I never actually stopped to consider it.
No problem. I've been questioning a lot lately.
Very interesting. So,
Questions often lead to wisdom, or the gaining of such.
you guys have any feelings about the Arcane Eyes? If you wanted to undo a lot of the things that were done, the only like real wizards that are left would likely be wizards or the people who belong to the Arcane Eye. You don't remember this apparently, but Zinch over there, and he points over to the like the dead body. He goes, he had a friend, the little old man that was casting fireballs everywhere. You guys don't remember. Why am I even bothering? Because why? Whoa. And he's back.
Camera. I went to start my camera and it was nope. So
do you guys want to take a quick break real fast? I know this is like a lot to process. Go over your notes, do your stuff, talk amongst yourselves real quick. I'm gonna make a quick pee and I will be right back. Thank you.
Is Amanda gonna come or is she not coming tonight?
I will find out as well.
This is my pee.
Yep. In the
He
tent.
wakes up for a second.
Okay. So, where are we? We are
Going to murder a fool.
He just told us about the glass steel and his homeland.
right. Oh boy, that's a bad one. So he. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to. Oh my god, guys, that children, right? Yeah. I mean, kids. Okay. At some point we'll get through this, I promise you. But Jesus Christ. So
my last notes were steel magic. He was telling us about that stuff.
He did a quick blurb about the Glasslands to Therai, who asked where he came from, and then Deus equated that to
Lich powers.
lichdom, and he was like, "Oh, that's existential as fuck. I never thought of it that way." And then he just kind of like he'll let that sit in the air as you kind of like seem just like, huh, weird. An entire civilization of liches, but we're not undead.
But your bodies are doing what? They're not working, but you
Well,
put your
we
soul.
Basically, we put our consciousness into a construct.
And then your body died, and then
Right? I mean, I don't know how many liches you all have seen. Generally, they keep their bodies, and those bodies decompose. So the body without the soul can just constantly be reborn and reborn and reborn. Instead, we do away with the body, and we keep the soul. And then we just put that into a new construct. Like Xixis, I could take his soul core out, since we are technically inhabiting the same body. If we take this soul core out and put it into another receptacle, you have another Xixis. Which is why I want to get back to my lab.
And then is that where you can start to do research on how to reverse the
Yes.
weave affliction?
If I could get back to my lab, where I have more than a couple of clones, I could put my consciousness into my full-blooded bodied clone, and it would be as if I had never died. And then I would have access to all of my spells that I had in my life. This is very... How do I put this?
Where do we go? I'm on board. I think that's a good step into righting the wrongs of this world.
I think first we need to take a rest, and then we need to keep heading towards that town.
How long should we be resting? It is only about the middle of the day, I believe.
I need at least 8 hours to recuperate.
You want to travel in the nighttime? Here, seeing what attacked us during the day, you want to...
That is not a good idea. I am with
How close
Absalom
are
on
we?
this.
Therai?
How close are we?
Let me double check. Actually, we can all double check here in just a moment. Let's us see here. Let us see here. You are about 1 to 3 days, maybe 4 days, depending. Sorry, 3 days, maybe 4 days. Therai would know.
We have a few. We have a few days left. I would recommend we move as much as we can right now.
He pats his horse. I can have my horse carry that carriage. Should we find just another place with better defenses?
There was that map with an X on it. It could be more trouble, but it might save us from the rain.
Is that on the way to correct?
We really can't handle any more trouble right now. Me and Brenner are tapped out.
Mechanically, it might be at 2 hit points.
If you
I'm
guys
very hurt.
want this whole thing to have been a short rest, that's fine. You guys have been sitting and talking for a while, so you could do a short rest, burn all of the fucking hit dice that you want. I will... yeah, we'll just leave it at that. 23.
All 3 of my other ones. I'm gonna do my druid dice too.
So, okay, here's a weird one. Kyle, did you just did you custom roll those?
No, I think I clicked the wrong thing.
So it says,
Because when you click on the heal, like I see it's 3d12 plus 12 for Kaioken, right? Because that's adding your con bonus.
I see.
For each one. Yeah, okay, 3d10 plus 3, that makes... Yeah, there you go. 16. And then Therai if you want to as well, it's up to you.
damn it, I shouldn't have done that much. Okay.
Holy shit, 43 hit point or 46 hit points?
And pass.
Jesus Christ.
I just killed myself.
Oh no! Well, we have a cart. We have a horse. We have a means of travel. It's only the middle of the day, and I'm feeling rather spry myself. What about you, Therai?
I am still good to move. I say we begin as quickly as we can.
This works for me. If it works for you. Boys.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll move the cart and fix it.
What about you, big man? Deus, or Brenna looks over and he... Well, I'm rather hungry. And... it almost put my dick in the dirt, that Fomorian, but... I can walk if need be. If we find a giant horse, I would surely like one of those. Right, a giant horse. I'm sure we will find some of those somewhere. They're
Hey,
so common.
priest.
I have not heard of a giant horse.
Hey, priest.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm right
No,
here. What?
Sorry, cleric. Sorry. You mind if my friend here eats your horse?
Yes, I do mind.
Worth a
That
shot.
is my horse. Why don't you offer yours instead?
It's not real.
Deus is
Well,
crazy.
I could cook us a meal. I think we could maybe use it. I've got 20 pounds of troll meat, and I think
You wouldn't
We
have
have-
any of those berries, would you?
no, I don't. Not today.
He looks deflated.
It's like scratching his neck. Berries. I Brenna, if you're hungry, I can cook some more food.
What was that dice roll? I
Healing
heard
dice.
a dice roll. Where was it? Oh, okay. Wait, what did you say to Brenna?
I said I've got 20 more pounds of troll meat, but I don't know how much more salted meat we have.
Still, I can't believe you actually eat that shit.
It's actually pretty good. It makes you feel kind of funny and move really quick.
It stinks to high hell. Ugh.
Yes, yes. But that's... every bad flavor can always be complemented by a good flavor, like salt.
And that's something you learned in your days of adventuring.
No, I learned it from my wife. She was a good cook.
You're married.
Yep.
You. Something about you just screams forever bachelor. I don't know if it's the intimidation dance and you see him doing this whole thing, or if it's the eating troll meat, but...
Brenna, I've been many things in my life. I've been a professional lover of ladies. I have been a sailor. I have been a soldier. And I have been a wild man fighting against the tide. But the most thing I am proud of is being a father.
Well, sounds like you've got your compass all spun around.
Constantly spinning.
That's, well, that's one way to live your life. Personally,
And that,
I
and
like...
Brenna, I am lost and I'm trying to find my purpose and my existence.
Oh, that's
Because it's
easy.
been taken from me.
You want to know what it is? I can tell you.
Enlighten me.
All you gotta do is you wait for someone who's smarter than you to tell you what to do. Easy as pie. Although I don't think pie is very easy to make.
It's not. It's really not. The pastry dough is very complex and it requires measurements and
Well, we should probably go. He just, you look and he's just like his mouth as you're going over this just like hangs open and he just...
yeah. So no food. Okay, let's go.
If we find something, I sure would like to eat it.
Yeah, I can scout ahead and look, or
Well, yeah, and so
Wait,
one.
what about what all bodies are we putting on this cart?
Well, speaking of which, and you would see him walk over and
Oh, cool.
he just kind of writes it.
Cool. That's a cool token.
I know, I told you, Incarnate, you just drag the shit onto your desktop, boom. The stamps are tokens.
Oh my god.
Fucking
that's
sick,
dope.
right?
That's way better.
I know, it's so dope. All right. And so he
Okay.
so looking underneath, you'll see all of you guys is like the last remnants of your guys' bedrolls and shit like that.
And Keksi sleeping.
Keksi sleeping. Yeah, she's just, dude, she's fucking out.
Yeah.
Like sawing logs. Her book's vibrating. Just
The heartbeat.
she's like missing fucking calls and shit. But yeah, he's like, all right, so we've got what, 2 horses to pull this thing.
Yes, this is.
I call him Steed.
Right. So, Brenna was just doing that. I don't know if you guys actually wanted him to like pull apart the campsite and all that shit, but I don't know if you did or not, but that happened.
Made the mistake. No, yeah, that's perfect. I was like moving to go do that, and then as he does it, I'm like, oh, I kind of like touch my lower back, like, thank you, Brenna. And I go back over, and then do the same Tibetan throat yodel, take out the 2 lodestones and tap them together on the axle, and then the wheel wherever it's cracked, and I start to do mending openly in front of everyone. Wherever else it seems like it needs it, I'll spend the next however long doing that.
Right. So you're casting the spell and you're doing this thing, and I think it takes like a minute, right, or whatever the casting time is. And you would recall that when Xixis had done like his like sort of like put it together using carpentry like stuff, as you're like basically like tapping and massaging this like the axle and the wheel, because that was like the damaged part, was the wheel that it had actually fallen onto and the axle had cracked, right? Those are the 2 parts that actually needed repair. As you're like doing that, it's literally like as your hand passes over it, it is just a solid piece again, and it looks like it's fully been restored over the course of a minute.
Does it look different? Like, is the condition different than the weathered wood that has been out? And like, does it look like it's like completely like rejuvenating wood and oiling it? You know what I mean? Or is it like?
It would look like it is a fresh piece of like bit of wood between the cracks and whatnot.
Okay,
it would be like discolored, right?
Yes.
You would see like a fresh wood look.
Cherry and maple together.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
It's obviously different.
Yeah,
okay.
It would look like an acacia board, basically, where it's like 3 different grains and shit.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome.
And then let's see. So Therai, you wanted to bring Zinch and you wanted to leave the other ones?
Yeah, for now the main priority is Zinch. If the others are fine bringing the others, if the others are fine with bringing Grigory and Sigrid, then fine. But Zinch is the main one he wants to take back to town.
Okay, so in the cart, so this thing's about 12 feet long, give or take. So you'd have enough for 6 people to ride in the back, and then the 2 horse. Well, it's 6 people to ride on it, and then the horse, or the horse or horses. So Brenna's gonna have to walk, and I think that leaves the rest of you guys plus Zinch. You would have enough room to actually sit and ride with whoever's in front being the ones to actually like drive. So it's a driver and passenger up front, and then 4 more passengers in the back, one of which would be Zinch. So if you guys want to drop yourselves on this token wherever you want in the order that you want, that is doable.
So my question out of game is Therai bringing the bodies of his people?
So he was saying just Zinch is essential. The rest is like up to you guys, and I don't think that they would necessarily all fit. But he also did say that he would tell the city guard that these people are out here, and you know he would be willing to go and retrieve them, is what he said to the rest of the group.
Therai, should we take your friends back to where they came from, or is that too far away? I don't mind walking or running alongside the cart.
If we are to make it back to Koran in one piece, we need to make as much progress. That is going opposite direction. For now, I say let's just continue with.
Do we just
let's move them toward a hidden area, perhaps.
Can I like take
bushes or something?
Can I take like an arm or something from one of them?
You would desecrate the corpse for what reason?
Are you gonna be hungry tomorrow?
I do not need sustenance like you do.
Seriously, something is really wrong with you.
All right. Listen, I don't have any rations, and hunting has been pretty scarce, and the only thing we've seen is horses, and they're pretty quick. But these things, you know, I don't know about you, but in my culture, when you eat a part of a being, you gain its strength. And it's always worked for me. I ate that troll and I felt more bestial than ever. So I don't know what these things are, but it could just make me sick. Get bubble gut. You know, you've had bubble gut. But if not that, then I might need it for other reasons.
I want to move out here and try to. Do I see like a rabbit or anything nearby?
You could make me a survival check, I suppose.
Okay.
While he's doing that, would you? You wouldn't see anything that would like let you think that there's rabbits nearby. Likely, if there were, the thunder wave, which followed the immediate battle of like extremes, would probably have driven away most like small game or large game. But yeah, there's nothing other than some leaves, like some grass and some flora. While he's doing that, Kaioken, do you want to go and just fucking try to get a quick snack, or like try like, cause this will be him like doing this for just a few quick minutes.
I like do that weird awkward hot step over to the Oni, and then I take out the bottle of the Jelly Belly.
Yeah.
And I put Jelly Belly down on the ground. I was like, eat a little bit and then let's go. And I'm kind of trusting him at this point, where I have the bottle down on the ground, like kind of like tip him out slowly for.
Give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Deus, you're taking driver's seat.
I was gonna buy a shotgun, but
you want to? Okay, you want to ride shotgun.
From a 1 to a 15.
I can drive.
Oh my god! It was like, eek.
Holy shit. Deus, do you have land vehicles proficiency?
No.
Okay. Wow. Boy. Okay. A couple of things. One, when you pour out, you have this cup, right? Uh-oh. You have this cup of Jelly Belly.
I still have them in my big
that's right,
glass bottle.
That's right.
And then I like kind of tip them over.
And so when you bring this out, just like when you let like a dough rise, he's almost doubled in size from when you had him in there. He's actually actively grown. And so when you pour him out, it's like a boog, 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 boog. And he is about, he settles into about the size of a small halfling, like a gnome.
Oh my god.
And you see him just immediately, as he falls over this Oni, just as he's like spits of like fluid that are bubbling and popping.
Is the rain affecting him? Is that like hurting? Does he seem?
It's not hurting him in any way. No.
Okay. It's just kind of peeling off of him.
Yeah, it's reacting to the acid, but it's more like a pss, 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 pss,
Okay.
as he's like popping off. He very quickly devours the outside layer of skin on the Oni. And you
then at that point where I think that it's like, all right, that's more food than I've ever fed you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be seen. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Okay.
I don't want you to be seen.
And with the 23, yeah, you'll have no problem getting him back in.
But he listens, is the thing. Is that's like that was the big test.
He definitely has listened.
Ooh, jelly belly, and I kind of like pick him up and kiss the bottle. Like,
Yeah.
You're gonna be very useful.
All right. Let's see. Is
No
anybody gonna
problems
load?
will come from you.
Is anybody gonna load Keksi up into the?
Oh yeah. If no one's done that,
No one. I mean, we can assume that someone did, or that you guys just collectively, the collective yous, loaded her up next to the dead body of Xixis, or of
actually,
Xixis.
maybe everyone forgot. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. We
Like,
just
all
like,
right, let's go. Yeah.
boy,
Xixis just fucking.
I'm sure Amanda's gonna love that one. So Xixis.
If no one else does it, I would have, because I'm trying to like not parent her, but like
Yeah.
put a wing out for her.
Right. I got you. So Therai, you go to look for a thing. You and Kaioken are the last two out.
If there's room, I'll hop in there.
All right, you want to hop in front or in mid?
I'll do front because I have, yeah.
Okay, so then
wait.
Therai, you see your seat. What's up?
No. I go back because it's he's got a mount. He's got a mount, and that he's probably controlling one of the reins, and I would know that he's
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so this is you guys. This is your sitting order. As we begin to ride off into the sunset. Well, it's not really sunset. Anyways, so
into the afternoon, and at this point, like while we're jostling around, can I druid craft to see what the weather's going to be like? If it's going to continue to rain through the next 24 hours?
It's for the next 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, and then what do you want to do, Deucey? Deus.
I know. I'm looking at Divine Sense.
Okay, so how long does that last?
Just 6 seconds, but just gotta.
Okay, so in an instant, you want to look for fiends.
I have 5 charges, so like just every hour, I just want to pop it.
You have 5 uses of your channel divinity.
Yeah. No. Divine Sense.
Doesn't that use your channel divinity? No shit.
Divine Sense just
Oh fuck.
does the whole.
Yeah, good evil,
it's
celestial fiends and undead.
60 feet, and if they're
And they have to be
behind
within
a
sight.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well.
It has to be 60 feet. They just can't be behind total cover.
Which is like a wall or a tree.
Yeah, so they have to be within sight. Like you have to be able to see them. Like, so total and 3/4 cover, you can still see them. They're just like partially shielded. Total cover, you can't see them.
No. Okay. All it says within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
It's one of those shot in the dark things you just do all the time, and most of the time it does work.
Right. So
Ask me how I know.
let's see here. I need to go over this then real quick. Okay, that is that. Let's see. So Kaioken, Keksi. I'm fairly certain that just about everybody is chaotic neutral or chaotic good. And then I don't believe that there is... Oh, fuck, dude. Okay, yeah. I don't believe that there is a single actual fiend or celestial besides yourself or undead. Yeah, so you in the immediate instance, go ahead and mark it off. Nothing happens as you guys begin to pull out. The forecast for the next 24 hours, it is only going to rain into the evening, and then it is the storm will have passed. Therai, was there anything that you wanted to do in the interim of the beginning of this travel session?
No, Therai's just trying to get back home.
Yeah, I agree. And Brenna is just going to be walking, keeping up. Are you guys trying to make haste? Oh, by the way, you guys had said something before you guys pull off. Brenna will walk over and hide the bodies underneath some shrubbery.
Ooh, good idea, Brenna.
Well, you said it. Kaioken said it.
Oh.
Good idea. This is such a smart man.
Yeah, but he did what he was told, as is his creed. And then he is going to pick up a rock and walk with it, just because you never know when you're going to need it. So you all, as a group, here, begin to pull off and make your way down. So let us go ahead and the first day, like the rest of this day basically, right, is uneventful. You would, as soon as you got to the next, oh, do you guys want to go to, if you are, I don't know if you guys are watching, you're not watching, hi-ya.
I am.
No, this. Would you like to go to R16 to the north or T16 to the south?
T16.
I think T16.
Yeah.
All right, you're certain of this.
Closer to the water, yeah.
Lock that shit in.
All right. Bip. So, as you all are starting to, like, you're basically crossing into this new, like, local area, right? It is much the same. Flat plains, you're on the one main road, and intermittently there are these rocks, these massive 30-foot boulders that there's no rhyme or reason to them. They're not like, you know, the usual, right? The wind is still blowing in from the south. It is still pouring down rain. As you get to the evening time, or closer to the evening time, you would then come across a T in the road, where the main road continues east-west, but there is a T that tees off to the north. Would you like to turn, or would you like to continue towards Karan? I misspelled that. I need to change
I'm gonna
that.
pop another divine.
All right.
I'm not driving, so I don't know what's happening.
Give me a
I'm just
perception check at disadvantage.
Me?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like I would get a consensus. Therai would get a consensus off them
Rough.
of which way they want to go, or they seem kind of passive about it.
If they tell you, then that's up to them.
8.
Yeah. You get the faint sense of evil just out of reach of your, like, it's poking into the 60-foot range to the north of you guys, but it's a really, really light and faint register.
So I stare in that direction. There's something. That direction. It feels evil.
As we're bumping along, and I'm holding Keksi so that she doesn't like fall out of the cart.
Yeah.
I holler to Therai, which way did you come from? Is where you came from near?
Is there a place where we can rest?
Therai, you would know that this road that tees off to the north is where you came from when you were visiting Sigurn and Grigori Mason.
That road only goes to evil right now. We do not wish to.
I got a quick question.
Wish
So,
to delve deeper.
did you know that they were like that before you knew them, or have they always been like
Last I had
Excuse
seen
me, the rain gets in my nostrils. They're so big.
Damn.
the last I had seen of them, they were still normal.
But so they didn't have like spikes and stuff coming out of their backs
No.
and long
No,
arms.
they would not have had those.
Wouldn't it be empty now that they followed you?
You said there's still evil there you detect, yes?
It's too faint. It's too wide of an area. I can't tell if I'm sensing just an evil place, evil person, and I don't have to tell anyone this, but being evil doesn't necessarily mean danger.
If you wish to go there, we can. It will just mean more time on our road to care.
Is it defensible, or did you leave it broken?
It is residential houses. There are still easy avenues to get for anyone who would want to attack.
He points down the road to the town. What about here? Can you think of anywhere where we can go off to the side and be relatively hidden?
I am not sure.
Because I would like to say it doesn't feel right leaving a place full of evil unattended to.
Going back and getting guards is not leaving it unattended. Just postponing.
Shrugs.
Okay.
What says the party?
Absalon would ring in and go, honestly, I do not give a shit where we go. I would just like to get out of this rain. It is rather annoying. It's hard to see in this storm. But I do believe I can vaguely make out the break in the weather.
Bruno, what says you?
I'm already tired. I'm already wet. It really can't get any worse than this.
Never say that, Brenna. It can always get worse.
Well,
I agree with this point.
if it makes a difference, I live my life one order at a time, so you tell me where you want to go and we'll go there.
Deus reaches in and pulls out his necklace from the Order of the Silver Templars. He's gonna throw it in the air and catch it.
Okay.
On one side's tails, one side's heads. If it's heads,
You're muted, Dan. You're muted, Dan. You're muted.
Wow, I actually think I showed him this with that rock, and he completely ignored me. But now he's got it.
if it's heads, we go towards the cabin. If it's tails, we go to the town.
What a good idea. Let fate decide where we go, not our emotions or
You,
intelligence.
off in the distance, you just hear, give me your belt.
Give me your belt. Come on.
All right, so what do you think? 11 to 20.
They have the wild.
Are
Hey
you
man, this is
1d2?
your flip.
Oh, okay.
You do.
You tell me. Actually, you tell Therai. I don't know. Kaioken, do you want to weigh in on whether or not you guys should go to the north or keep going to the east?
I would say that there might be food in the place where the rye came from.
Also,
There's a small village.
for what it's worth, Therai would know that it is closer to the north, Ashbrook, where he came from, than it would be to Karan.
Yeah.
It's not like to Koran, you still have about 2.5 more days of travel.
Yeah.
Versus, like, it's just an hour or so north from where you're at.
I asked people to weigh in.
Yeah, and that's I'm giving him the information that he would know, but Absalon is not going to be committal, and Brenna is like he's a follower, not a leader.
Looks like we're headed to the cabin.
In the woods.
I can't wait to shave my legs and peel my skin off on
Or
accident.
to the house, the neighborhood.
The cabin at the end of the street. All right.
Last house on the left.
I hope the trees are not haunted and groupy tonight.
Yeah, I don't want my butthole to be inseminated.
So-
he mentally commands his steed
To pull to
take
the
that
right.
left.
All
Yeah.
right. I assume, Therai, that you're not going to try to fight the steed that pulls to the left, since it's both of your guys' steeds pulling this thing. Otherwise, we'd have an Acme situation where, like, it just splits.
No.
So,
Then the Deja Vu theme song would start.
exactly. I just been to this place before. So,
the streets.
what a good song. So you guys start pulling to the north. You take that hook, and yeah, about an hour goes by. It begins to be about evening time, and just as Kaioken's dark magic predicted, the rain, by the time you guys get there, subsides as soon as... Oh, I guess it doesn't want to subside now.
We headed to the north, correct?
Yes. So you have headed to the north.
North.
Now let's turn some fun music back on.
Yes. Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
I missed it.
So,
Me.
So, you guys arrive to a peculiar sight. This is how Therai left it. Whoops. Let's turn this back on. Thank you. This is, as Therai would tell you, Ashbrook. As you guys arrive, let me jog back over. This is going.
So cute.
This is gonna be yeah, so it's basically like a miniature hamlet, right? This is not a
Like a homestead.
yeah, basically this is not a combat map, thus everything is significantly smaller. There's not a collection of tents down below. There is instead just like a single tent that Therai had when he left, which he would likely tell you guys that was his. But that's the campground. This is Therai would be able to tell you that this is where visitors go, right? The campsite to the bottom is for adventurers or for travelers to stay. Generally speaking, up here in the to the left, this is where Grigori Mason used to make bricks, red clay bricks. Inside of this this rut, like this pig rut, is a lot of really iron rich clay from the end of this creek that he would form, and he would fire it along with Sigrun, who was a smith. So there's a smithy here.
Ooh.
It is currently empty and cold, but you would see all of the stuff needed to make very basic stuff. This isn't the place where like you master craft a bunch of weaponry. This is like where, we need horseshoes or we need metal straps. There's like really, really rudimentary stuff here.
We should stay here and just make a bunch of daggers.
And then
And we won't be master crafters.
and then you'll level up off of daggers, Skyrim style. And so then up here, Therai would tell you this is where he found Sigrun and Grigori, and you guys would be able to make out the busted out windows and the door that was left open from the tales that he told you previously.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say that you guys will have parked your mounts and the cart back up this way. And then you guys have full reign. Keksi she's still sleepy.
Rye is also getting very tired at this point.
And Zinch is fucking dead. But what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna head towards the blacksmithy.
Okay. Go ahead and
I'm
place
gonna
your token over there.
for Brenna to follow me.
All right. Brenna will follow you over there. And then Kaioken, where are you going?
I'm gonna pick up Keksi and then go to the tent. Like not knowing whose tent it is, but it's like, oh, this is shelter. It's
Right.
starting to dry up, but still I want her to not be exposed.
Right.
And then just move her to whichever tent it is, and then set down my bedroll and
Perfect.
put her down, and then like
And then put
with
her
the,
down.
with the horse.
Oh.
Yeah, like get the great axe and
Time to load up the double barrel.
decapitate her. But then I would also kind of go up to each of the horses and like see that they're already secured. I would assume that the riders would like tie them off or
Sure.
unhitch them, and then like just spend some time with the horses, try to like bond with them, or not bond, but like pet them,
Get them familiar to you.
calm, yeah.
So Therai's horse. Go ahead and make me an animal handling check, and then I'll get back to you.
Sure.
Therai's horse is a real horse, right? And then as you were looking at Deus's horse, Deus's horse would look at you with a certain amount of intelligence. Like you would see it sizing you up as you approach, and its mannerisms would look. It would look like a skinwalker trying to act like a horse. You know what I mean? It would be like
Sucks in its teeth.
like there is something odd, just ever slightly odd with it. But
It's like it doesn't have the same like long pupils. It's got
Right.
like normal pupils. It's like
yeah. It looks like Deus's eyes, but you've never seen those. So you have okay, sick. So Therai, what is it that you are doing at this point in time?
At this point, Therai would be prepping his own. Since his bag of sleeping has been used to more or less wrap up. Yeah, since Therai's sleeping bag has been used to wrap up
Zinch.
Zinch, Therai is just like trying to find anything soft that he could lay his head on.
Okay.
in the tent or
Around the campsite.
Around the campsite. The only tent, sorry, it looks like there's 3 here. But that's just for diagrammatical purposes to show you that like this is where you camp if you're a visitor, right?
Yeah.
In the like your tent is the only one here. So all of your belongings that you would have left in the tent would be in there, which I assume would likely be like a traveling pillow.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna sneak in and lay down next to Keksi and like, or not sneak in, but like quietly go in, lay down.
Grab the pillow. It wouldn't be like, all right, time to snuggle up.
No, yeah, of
Snuggle
course.
up.
But so you do want to go in and
Take the pillow and
take a
then
pillow. Okay.
just like find a soft enough area that the right could lay
All
down.
right.
if I would if it's happening at the same time and I like
Roughly.
lay Keksi down on my bedroll, and then like I'm like taking off my
Pack.
my pelt,
Oh, right.
the policeman lion pelt, and I'm like about to lay it down on her, and he's like kind of like looking around. He's like slowly grabs the pillow that I didn't see, like pretty nice. We found a tent, right? That's good. Are you gonna stay here?
Most times, if I put up a tent, it stays there until.
Oh, this is your tent. Oh, so we just got here, and I didn't know that this was yours.
No.
Hey, here, take this, and I hand him over the fleecemane lion pelt. Like the inside that was on my back is dry and quite warm, but the outside's wet. So put that on the ground. If you need to sleep, could you do me a favor, stranger, and keep an eye on my friend?
I will sleep next to the open in case
Okay.
anyone tries to get in. They step over.
Okay, can you please scream if something bad happens, and then I will come back.
Yes, I will do.
Okay, thank you. So I give him that, and then I do the horse thing, and then sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. All right, so Therai's laying down for the evening. You're gonna be taking. Are you gonna be wanting to get your long rest sleep in for the evening?
Yeah, this is going to have to be a long rest.
Okay, and then Keksi's gonna be getting her long rest. You're gonna be animal handling with the horses. Kaioken. Fucking Xixis is going straight into the house.
Would I perceive that?
Do you want to stop fucking around with the horses and ask him about it, or because I assume that like you can do like either or.
So
But-
I was thinking that I'm just like going up and like trying to brush and pet the horses before I go off and see what other people are.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to like train them or
Right.
to shake hands or anything. Like,
Right.
I just want to like, all right, hi horses, bye. I'm not a bad guy. I look
Okay.
like one.
Then I mean, I assume that you would see that. Yeah, are you gonna go with him?
Oh yeah, totally. I'm gonna, as far as I can go, I'm gonna stop myself right there.
You can just follow with him.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's totally fine.
Get up right there, 58.2.
All right. So Deus, you approach the smithy. What's up?
I'm gonna look around to see if is there dust? Like, is it still hot?
The coals
Is
are
there any-
cold, but
Cold?
there's no dust on anything. This has been used super recently, but like,
So there's still like tools and stuff.
yeah. Looking, there's just a cursory glance around, not like actually fully investigating. You would find like smith tools around.
All right. He looks at those, remembers that he was gonna try to get a hobby.
Yeah.
And I wanna take the smithing tools.
All right, go ahead and give yourself a pack of smith tools.
I'm gonna hold them and then look at Brenna. What do you think? You think these will work? For someone who's trying to get into blacksmithing?
Well, yeah, it's a rudimentary toolkit. It's perfect for an apprentice. Why not?
I've been thinking about getting a hobby, something, for me.
Something to take the
I've
mind
never-
off of the fact that you can touch and feel a horse that ain't real.
Something like that. Something that's mine, that I did for my own power.
You know, one thing I found is that when you do things with your hands, like smithing, forging, creating things, it's like instant gratification when you're done, because you can look at it and go, I actually made this with my own two hands. That's the power of the gods right there on a certain level.
Power of the gods in our own hands for once.
Right.
What do you think about this smithy? Can you tell me anything about it? Like when it was last used? Is that something ridiculous to ask?
It's kind of ridiculous. It's not like covered in a thick layer of dust, but it's also been raining out for like 2.5, 3 days. So I don't know what to tell you there, but
Are there any completed items anywhere?
give me an investigation check. Let's see what we got there before we cut over. Beep, 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 beep. There is some iron ore, some raw unrefined iron ore. Not much. There's like literally like maybe 3 or 4 ingots. But other than that, nah. I mean, this doesn't scream production to you. This screams like, oh hey, I need to make a handful of nails today, and then they would make a handful of nails today.
It's like horseshoes, nails.
Yeah, like super low key shit.
He'll take them to like maybe practice with.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. That's the best way. In fact, Brennan would be like, you should make a handful of nails. It's like the first thing and the most important thing for smithing is you learn all of the tools that you need to learn in one little tiny nail. The ones that I made would likely be as long as your arm, but you understand what I'm saying.
Everyone has to start somewhere.
Truth. So, we're going to cut away from Deus, and we're going to cut to Absalana Xixis and Kaioken as you guys approach this longhouse. So. Sorry, your mic. You're a little far away from your mic. Couldn't hear it.
I was just saying, I feel like spooky music's gonna come in.
So, as we talk about spooky music,
start the spooky music playlist.
No, I'm kidding. No, as you approach, there's just like a eerie, deafening quiet, if that makes any sense.
Drips off of the like thatch roof, or
like it's not even that. It's not even that. It's just quiet. The air feels heavy. It feels like someone took like a shroud of anti-sound and just sort of blanketed it over you. Like you can still hear stuff, right? You can still hear things kicking around, but there's none of that like air space in between. It's give me an insight check or a history check, one of the two.
17.
Holy shit. Why did that not pop up?
Insight 17. No.
Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, okay. So as you're so this is what you would pick up on. This is what is often like described as being in the presence of death. Whenever death has happened in an area very recently, many people, they describe this feeling of like,
bro, I worked at a cemetery. I know exactly what you mean.
Right. And so you know that feeling of like, dude, the air is just heavy, dense.
Yep.
There's still sound, but also there's no negative space in between the sounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibe that you get from this place, is that there's been a horrific tragedy that has happened here. And based off of what Therai told you about these two people who used to live in this village, who basically became monsters and chased him away, it's easy to understand. But as you approach this house, you would notice all of the windows are shattered out. The door has been opened up, and inside it is incredibly dark. You have dark vision. You can see inside. It's like from outside, from the doorway, you can see just like a floor covered in blood that leads into essentially like a living room area, like a common room. But until you walk in, that's about as far as you can see.
Okay. As I come up behind Absalom / Xixis, what are you doing? I'm not sure if. I mean, it's spooky. You're kind of spooked out, right? You feel that, right? Feel it? Kind of eerie.
Give me another insight check. I'm gonna roll against Xixis' deception, because he's gonna look at you and go, "No, not at all." Oh
Natural
fuck!
20.
I gotta beat that. I don't think I can beat that. Let me see, what's his fucking deception? Jesus Christ, it's a -3. Even with a 20, there's no way. he would instantly, he'd look at you and go, no, not at all. I simply want to get away from all of this uncomfortable weather. You know how long it's been since we actually stayed at an inn? Ugh. But, you know.
5 days.
That is incredible. For me, it just feels like, you know, I'm ready to sleep in a bed again. I'm tired of sleeping on the ground or in a soul core, having to like third parties, whatever Xixis talks about in his while he's by himself, what he ignores me.
Yes, I'm sure that's frustrating. But you feel that the air, you feel the presence of something, right?
I don't feel a presence of anything. I feel the presence of annoyance. But of course, as he's saying this, you could tell like if robots could give the shivers, he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like he's trepidatious about entering into this place, which is why he hasn't gone in yet. And he's kind of like he's doing that thing with his body language where like, okay, you can go first. Like he's stepping, like kind of giving you a wide berth of like, I'm not scared. This is stupid, but you go first.
I don't know how this will work, but as I'm like, oh yeah, sure, fine, and I take a step and I want to druid craft and do the since it's similar to prestidigitation, but it's the worst version of it because it can make sounds. I want to make a sound behind him, like of like something falling.
Oh yeah, no, he jumps out of his fucking skin. He just shines up, and he looks back, and he's like, you see him like his little fucking yellow eyes were. He's like, what in the fuck was that?
Oh, I don't know. There's probably a spooky ghost trying to something I'm trying to warn you about.
Dude, so, full blown. He cracks his fucking hand. Out comes the Eldritch Cannon, and he's just like waving it around like,
all right, you're ready. Let's go. And I'd also take out. I'm gonna actually take out the great axe. I don't have the shield equipped. I have the great axe equipped.
Right.
So
all
AC
right.
is 17. Okay.
And you guys go in.
Yep.
Okay. Roll initiative. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, yes.
As you go in, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
It's the evening time, but it's not nighttime yet. The rain is gone, so there's no light inside of here, but there is the light that creeps through the windows. Inside of here is actually quite dusty. It's that stereotypical horror interior of an abandoned house where it's like the dust that passes by the light, like the god rays in the window.
I'm imagining like the Last of Us, like the spores.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Like,
maybe not.
If it's not exactly the Last of Us, then it's definitely like the Resident Evil 7 house.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like the place is disheveled inside. There's like bits of light that are coming in, but you're able to make out immediately inside. If you look, this is an L-shaped house, right? To your left, as you look in, you would notice that this first block here, this first block of house, and then this first block of house are all behind doors. So you're getting this L shape, and you can see a fireplace to your left. That looks like there's wood that wasn't burned in there, laying on top of a pile of like charcoal. There's a table. It's a big round table with 3 chairs at it. In the back, very back corner, like right here, you would have a fireplace over here, and then there'd be just like some like dressers, stuff like a wardrobe, shit like really, it's all handcrafted, like Nick Offerman style of like very well crafted, but also it's not like mass produced, and this definitely isn't like, you know, something you would pay thousands of dollars for, but this is definitely like there's furniture here that is like it was built and it was cared for, and you can see the care in the details. Yeah. Okay. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty bare bones. There is a lot of blood in the middle of this living room area.
Xixis, what do you, or Absalom? What do you think?
Well, first of all, Xixis is my servant, but I understand how it could be confusing because we share the same body. Hey, Therai, are you still awake?
Negative.
Right.
Oh, whoops, Mike was muted.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
barely.
looks like he automatically fails his perception check. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, bitch.
And so, as you go in, he's like, this place is quite a mess.
Oh boy, yeah, that's automatic.
Okay. This place is a mess. I don't know what happened here, but if what Therai said is any indication, whatever happened to those people happened right here. But there are 2 doors on either side of us. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Go together to each door. Yes.
Yes. No way in hell are we going to split up in here. I'm sorry, okay?
Okay.
All bullshit aside, I am terrified right now.
Yes. Okay. I could kind of tell.
You're not? This is just like an everyday occurrence for you?
I mean, I've killed a dragon. I've killed the mother of dragons.
What about every dragonborn?
No, I've killed a lot of dragonborn. Yeah, I've hurt quite a few of them. But dick polling aside, because I think in our age, I mean, I'm only about 80, but there comes a point when the deeds that you have done don't matter, and it's the deeds that you need to finish that do.
Are you saying I should finish destroying the rest of all of the dragonkin on the world?
I mean, yeah, fuck those guys. Honestly, yes. If that's yours, yes. Do that.
There were just a quick piece of information that I think might be interesting, but there were only like a handful of dragonborn who actually had said, hey, we don't want to be a part of this, right? They had abstained from the entirety of the Dragonlands. And did you know?
Yeah, right. I remember those. But they weren't the chromatic type, were they?
Yes, they were. But what happened was that they had relinquished their citizenship for the Dragonlands before we had a chance to implement these control chips. What is funny is that they had migrated to the north, and they were killed out of prejudice.
Oh, that's some serious racism.
If you can imagine, this stands out because there was one family, only one family. They made it to some city in the north, and then someone had accused them of committing some sort of treasonous act, and they were hunted down and killed because of their race. So while I didn't kill all of them, I just killed most of them. But their world finished off what I had started.
That's... I take that back. Maybe we should just kill all humans, because humans kind of suck.
Humans kind of suck.
They're just like a plague.
Do you want to go to the room to the left or the right?
I will not let fate decide. I choose left.
All right. So you guys go, and you inside. You find a bedroom. This bedroom has been tossed completely. The bed has literally been ripped to ribbons. The little 4-drawer dresser that's beside the bed is completely ransacked, pulled apart. There's huge gash marks out of everything in here. Along the far side, all 3 of these windows have been smashed out completely. This place has been completely fucking destroyed. on the inside, but there are shred marks everywhere. As you walk in, Xixis kind of takes a look at the back of the door, and you notice this big circular pattern with these like sharp indents all around. I'll draw a picture of it real quick. Hip, and with like just 1,000 tiny little me, all like it looks like this, like indented into the door. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, the place has been completely ransacked. Xixis goes, there was a scuffle here for sure, right? This looks like somebody.
I think you're right. Do you think that something attacked them and then turned them into something, or
That's exactly what I think, but I don't know what could do that.
I don't either.
So we're gonna take a moment. We're gonna go back to Deus. Are you doing anything else with Bruno right now? You found some iron ingots. You found a toolkit. You guys are standing there just sort of inspecting the super plain smithy.
So I'm looking at it. You think this is wide enough for you to sleep in? So I have this little roof over your head, Brenna?
What, a smithy, eh?
Yeah, I don't know if you'd fit in that house over there. Are they going in that house?
Well, it looks like they've gone in the house, but I think I'd rather sleep over here by the masonry pins. At least that's like my size. Over here, I this doesn't look very comfortable.
You think they left any livestock?
Well, I don't think that's for livestock. I think that's for making bricks. And you look over and you would see like piles of bricks inside of one of these pens of like pre-fired red brick.
Threw me off.
Oh yeah, that does that sometimes.
Well, I'm not hearing them scream, so let's go check it out.
They're probably already dead. Captain. All right, so yeah, you get over there. This for sure. Everything about this is building bricks. Like, you remember primitive technology videos where he's like, he goes down to the creek, finds the clay, makes
lime kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
He's still
basically
making videos.
he's still after his house burnt down.
Bro, I've got like during work I've gotten a lot. I'll talk about that.
Yeah, but so yeah, everything about this place is literally, you can see like all over here where you see like the red clay that was put in. Here's where he formed it. Here's where it was dried, and then over here there's a small little pit that he like fires it. And then inside of these things are all like additives and shit for like cleaning it. This is everything about this is making bricks for structures. In fact, it would make sense, like, as you're putting all this stuff together, Therai would have said that their last name was Mason, so that would kind of indicate potentially what their job is masonry, and that's what they're doing here. Everything about this is all brick.
Brennan, could you help me investigate to see if maybe someone's dropped something here?
And I thought my hands were heavy. Sure, go ahead and give yourself advantage, as he's like, I'm just looking for something that's real, vague. I see a lot of somethings. I see a lot of guys too. Oh, look over here, Deus. It looks like there's what's that fucking shit
saying,
called?
like, this sounds like this
Oh, look, it's borax in a bag over here. Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, so my mindset was, I was thinking of like Jurassic Park, right? Like, I'm thinking about someone who maybe dropped something, and then maybe like the mud has kind of washed it away, like a ring or like a coin, or
Gotcha.
like just some small trinket
Well,
of this family.
So you got a 12 and a 2.
Well, last time you gave me a +3, so I was hoping you give me a +3, not advantage.
Well, that was Brenna doing the investigating for you, or doing the check for you.
Well, whatever. It's a long shot.
So with this, you would find a set of mason tools. For what that's worth, you've got that.
Good, dude.
With that, you can also, like, there's multiple uses for a bunch of shit, right? But you'd find hay. You would literally find like a small bag of lye, which is used as a cleaning agent, like a detergent almost. You'd
I'll
find,
take the lie.
you would find so much fucking brick, like red bricks. You would find like a couple hundred tons, like not tons, a couple hundred pounds of red bricks. As
Might be
well
able to
as
tell that cleric about this hay.
right. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's all of this shit is real simple in here. Looking around, just so you know, these carts over here and towards the back, those are all filled with bricks, bags that are labeled mortar, shit like that. Like this is all like, looks like they're getting ready to sell this shit, or like getting ready to like market this stuff.
Oh, Brenna, help me move this hay over to the under the roofing over there. You use this as your bed.
All right. That sounds like a wonderful idea. And so you guys move. You make a blanket of hay, or a bed of hay underneath these fucking lean-tos or whatever. So that happens. Anything else that you guys want to do?
I want to check out
Dave.
the well.
Okay. It's a well. It's got water. You pull the bucket up. It's a bucket of water. You want to refill your skins? By all means.
Yep.
It's potable water. I'm gonna cut back to Therai for a second because I assume is Therai just sleeping or is he doing anything else?
Therai is like one eye open, like preparing for sleep.
Gotcha. So there's no lit fire outside. Did you want to try to start a fire or nah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you just want to use like your tinderbox and shit like that?
Yeah, try and gather some loose branches from the tree that might have fallen down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Shit.
That's a wisdom-based skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my rolls are always shit.
God damn. Well,
Hey, you started the night off with a natural 20.
here's
One time.
So here's the thing.
Turn and burn, baby.
At the very least, you would recognize, oh, there's a bunch of like crates and shit up here by the smithy, and there's some hay that didn't get rained on. You could likely start a fire and maintain it with like the wood from like the smithy over here. Not necessarily like snapping off branches and shit like that, but you'd be like, oh, I can just fucking, if I want to just go grab this wood over here, I'll just go grab this and start a fire. But yeah, you're able to fucking use a tinderbox, light a fire, strike it, and all that stuff. Get it going. Get the area starting to dry out. So at least that way, anybody that does sleep down there is going to be a little better off.
Yeah.
And then you go fucking collapse back down, and you're doing your thing. Yeah, we'll call that. So, Absalon and Kaioken. You guys go through that room. Did you want to go through the other room?
Yes.
All right. So coming out, going across the way, this door is actually like a double push door, like an old saloon door. Push it open. Again, handcrafted. You're admiring the craftsmanship. You go in, and this is like a kitchen. There's a dining room table. There is like a wood burning stove. On top of it's a pot. You've got there's steins and mugs hanging over the thing. There's like a stack of plates on a table right next to it. There's like a really meager like prep station. There's not like a sink and running water, but there is like a board. There's spices that are hanging in bundles overhead of this table that are like dried. They're all labeled and shit like that. Like this looks like a really well cared for area. There is a lot of blood all over the floor. And the window is smashed in.
You keep explaining all these lovely areas, and then you're
Yeah.
there is blood everywhere.
Like these people, like you can gather these people had a pretty simple, happy life.
Yeah.
And then this
And
horrific,
it ended in blood.
and it
And
ended
then
with
there's just gore.
yeah,
And
and
that
there's
might
just
be a, you know, it might be a trachea on right there. It could be
that could be
like
that could be like
something else.
you know, it could be the rest of her skin bib of her face that she had.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But yeah. So there's like there's like dirtied plates and all that shit. But you know that Xixis has a bunch of fine fucking china and shit like that. There's yeah, you guys were all in there, right? And it's
Okay.
kind of hard to ignore.
Like as soon as we go 10 feet apart and we're doing
Just
something
deafened.
awesome, I don't know
Yeah.
anything. Like
Yeah,
when I take my notes, I'm like, I always write like, I don't know this.
yeah.
I don't know this.
So for me, if you want, next time we get together, we can stand 10 feet apart and I can hold a stack of china and try to walk with it, and we'll see if you can hear the noise of
But
china.
I don't know if it's just like bag of holding and
Yeah,
and then
likely.
just disappears into nothingness. You know what I mean?
if it's the way that the inventory master plays it, then yeah. But
Yeah, I don't know.
but no, yeah, in here there's like super rudimentary eating utensils, flatware. There's no like meat, but there
Okay.
is spices
Ooh.
and there is cooking utensils.
Oh hell
So
yes!
you could literally add the cook utensils toolkit
Yes.
to your thing if you want it, and then you can add like a spice pouch and just give yourself like all of the basic spices, right? Like basil, oregano, thyme, all of that regular shit. There's not like Carolina Reaper peppers or chocolate scorpions, there's nothing like that, but
Can't make anything without those.
yeah, right. But there's enough like basic necessities to make yourself like an Ameripois base and be good.
Okay. I will add that now.
And then of course all of the gore, the blood, the viscera, everything is you guys are slick with it in here. But like a thorough investigation of the house, this place is empty. When Therai left, like everybody that was in this area chased him down. And you guys ran into him. But as far as you could tell, it's totally safe out there. Deus, I need you to make me a perception check. While he's doing that, Kaioken, do you and Absalon Xixis like exit the house?
5.
Okay.
There would be a brief.
I will get right to that in just a moment.
There would be a brief sight of elation from Kaioken seeing like these things, like a little box of salt,
Yeah.
like some like some pepper berries. There's some are like still dry.
I've created a new recipe. Look at all
Yeah.
these ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's very excited seeing these things.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and not that Absalom would know this, but like he's seen these things being used before, and he's like, "Oh, I might be able to do something." Like,
Right.
like
Yeah. 100%.
And so he's pumped seeing this stuff with all this gore and viscera.
Yeah.
And
naturally.
despite all that, he's very happy. And then however Absalom takes that's it.
Oh yeah. You would notice that Absalon is like, I'm going to clean this place up. I don't want to sleep on a bunch of blood and destroyed shit, so I'm going to take a good portion of the night. He starts prestidigitationing the floors, getting all the blood, the gore, the viscera. He's literally cleaning this place. Like, he's not like, huh?
But I was just gonna say, like, before, like, oh, that's gonna take way too long. There's no way you could ever 5 foot cube, 5 foot cube,
Yeah,
5 foot cube.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
so
amazed, like holding these like bushes of thyme and shit.
Exactly. Yeah. For him, it's like it's almost like a pressure washer. Like you just and it's just like it's just like
awesome.
and as it crosses over stuff.
It's like the rust.
Yeah. CLR.
No, the laser, the rust laser.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
seen those?
yeah. From the yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just cleaning everything.
Yeah. And so a little bit of time would go by. I mean, whatever, if you want to do anything while he's doing this, he's not going to be like trying to fix all of the furniture and shit, but he is definitely just going to be cleaning up all the blood and like anything that's just like disturbing.
If there's any like long couches or the bed, of course, that you said that was like destroyed, I'll try and do mending, but like I'm gonna do the same thing he's doing to get this area fixable.
Right. Yeah. We'll say you're it takes a while because a foot at a time versus like a bed frame that's like smashed in half and like, you know. But you guys, if you want to take probably like an hour if we're being like honest.
That
then that'll be
probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, I think. If the travel time,
it definitely takes you guys to where like it would probably take you guys closer to what Daniel would know would be around 7-ish. As everybody is, well, Therai's already wound down. Deus, you give me an investigation check. I know I still have to reconcile your guys' perception checks, and I will do so momentarily. Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check also. All right. Deus, you get a whole lot of really clean water. Like, fuck, man, purified.
What are you doing tonight, dude? Fuck yeah! Holy fuck! I took roll a natural 20 to get to X on the map, or what did it? I took that off, and I'm such an idiot. Not that I could double dip, but
so
I did fix the cart, so that's pretty cool.
That is definitely a plus. So let's see here. Okay. So Deus, you find, like I said, super clean water. You have enough, you can pull up by the bucket load however you want. This thing is basically fucking endless. Brenna is going to actively be sleeping back over yonder where you guys made the bed for him. As the night starts to darken, like Therai, or not Therai, Xixis and Kaioken come out, and you see everybody is like spread way out, right? You've got Brenna over in one way, Deus in the middle, Therai, if he's still in the last place you found him, or the last place you left him and Keksi are over by the fucking campsite down there. There's a fire going now, so that's a plus. But Xixis is going to call out to everybody, hey everyone, we have cleaned up the house so that way we can actually sleep inside like civilized people, or would you rather sleep like animals outside?
Therai is going to start trying to pick up Keksi and move her over to the house.
Super light. You have no problem doing that.
Got it.
And then Deus?
You're trying to decide if you should sleep in the house or sleep with Brenna.
I mean, Brenna's probably packing some heat, so I don't know if you really want to sleep
in the house.
No. Do you want to?
You felt the morning of which he woke up on, and it pushed you about 3 feet away.
The morning tree.
I was like, Brenna, get your great club out of here.
Is that you
laying against the wall?
Is that your great club, or are you just happy to see me? But do you want to sleep in the house, or do you want to sleep over by?
Oh, I'll sleep in the house.
Okay. Brenna is like, I'm good. This is fine out here. It's gonna be a little cramped with me in there. So everybody will end up like ultimately going inside of said house.
I tell Brenda be sure to cause a commotion if anything happens.
You got it. I will. As he is fucking out. So I assume you guys want to light a fire inside of the house too, right? Do you guys want to light the fireplace fire? Or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So you guys light the fireplace. It gets nice and toasty in there super quickly. By all means, if you guys want to do any little bit of role play before we start going to sleep, now is the time to do it.
I have 2 things, but I don't want to take up other people's time.
All right. So
First thing I would do would be go and lead the horses closer, and then one pick up my pelt if it wasn't picked up already.
I'm certain he would have.
Yeah. And then just lead them closer, tie them up like somewhere near it,
Right.
and then do speak with animals through my barbarian stuff.
Okay.
On the one that seems less, like, I would try and do it on both of them, like see if I could like maybe like pet them again, and then like, look, like, we're in a bad area, like please let us know, and then we'll untie you and we'll get moving as soon as possible. We don't want you guys to get hurt.
Okay.
Is essentially what I would say to them.
You would get back from Therai's horse. You got it, boss. And then from Deus's mount, he actually would not respond.
Okay. Which would be kind of like, that's strange.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you might have heard Deus tell Brenna, don't forget, this horse isn't real, or he said it before you guys left, this horse isn't real. Okay. And the horse would look at you like,
I see just Matthew McConaughey eyes in this horse figure.
And then his hands come up and he's rolling a booger and he's like, that's real cool.
Flick.
Deus, you would hear in your head, since you have a telepathic link, you would immediately know, like, the gray man is talking to me right now.
Just do horse things.
What is a horse thing? Is what, like, the feeling you get back?
Neigh.
The horse neighs.
Ah! Oh man, Riley. Oh, settle down, Betsy.
Jesus Christ. So you do that. You communicate. And then you guys wanna we taking watch, or we all going to bed inside of the house, nice and safe and snug?
I go up to Xixis. I have the equipment that I grabbed off of the cop, and also like the tools I just got.
Okay.
Xixis, do you mind if I have these stored in that space you got there? I don't know what else you got in there.
You want me to hold on to Xixis book bag, and you want me to hold on to these tools and these
two
tools.
Huge clubs.
Oh, and the great clubs. Okay, yeah. All right. This is good. Well, thank you. I will put those away, and in the very unlikely chance that Xixi gets his body back, I will let him know.
So this can actually fit in there?
It is about to max capacity, but I think we can make something work.
What else you got in there?
There is tons of stuff in here. Xixi has pretty much just sort of been hoarding a lot of stuff. Is there something you would like?
He holds up his sword that's been kind of mended. You got a long sword in there?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short swords I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short bows. I have a fucking magnifying glass, a crowbar. Does that work? I have 6 black robes, 6 black veil amulets. I have
One unruly wife.
I have a bone dagger. If you
Do you
would
have
like that.
any mail armor?
Oh, you wear the plate.
If that's what you can still call this.
Sure. Well, get some rest. In the morning, I shall give it to you.
Good night.
All right. Are we
He
taking?
finally dumps all that shit in his grab.
Yeah, you see, Xixis like, or Absalom's like, he's going to have to get a bigger one of these, or at least another one. Yep, that's all that's worth. All right. So, are we taking watch?
Yeah, I can take first.
I will also take first with Deus.
All right. And then Absalom 60 is going to be awake through the entirety of this. Therai, would you like to take second watch?
Yep.
And we'll do this in, I assume, 2 watches, or do you guys want to do it in 3?
Can I still get a long rest with the?
Well, it's
Why
about
that long?
8 o'clock, I would assume,
So-
after moving in to
To-
the new house.
To me, I instead of tracking hour by hour, we can say that after the second watch is done, everybody will have a long rest. Should anything happen before then, you won't get the benefits of a long rest. Like, until you complete the second, like,
Bitch.
the passage of the watch.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
All right.
Why is that about that? That's a good thing.
Because
We are gonna get fucked with these rolls, and something's gonna happen. And guess what? No spells.
okay, so now I know that we can't have a session past like 10:30. Otherwise, all of the pessimism just comes flooding in. But
Yeah, dude, it's a game, bro.
that being
It's okay.
said,
Okay.
your guys' perception checks all come rolling back now. No, I'm kidding. So you guys begin your watch, and that's where we're gonna end it for tonight. Is at the beginning of the first watch.
Can I do a quick speech?
No.
Or like quick talking? Okay.
As you guys
Okay.
hunker down,
Tonight,
you
tonight we rest in hell.
you can start if you keep in mind what you want to say. We can start
Yeah.
since you're taking first watch. We could start that next time.
Okay, so do we do level now?
Yeah, sure, go
Or-
for it. But